Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to break down the 3-game CSGO main slate on Tuesday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports daily fantasy sports slates. Esports including Call of Duty, League of Legends, and this one Counter-Strike CSGO. Also, before I get into the video, we're at 3.32 thousand subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys for all support. If you guys enjoy this content, again, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. It does really help me out to continue to grow this channel. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, would appreciate if you leave a 5-star review. Again, that would help me out to continue to grow my podcast as well. So, yeah, let's jump into the video. Before we get into players and their prices, what we can do is we'll look back at my lineup here from Monday. Monday, just missed the cash line here, and it was for a pretty tilting reason. So I did a 3-man Enigma gaming stack with Lollipop, Speed 4K, and MDS. Unfortunately, what was the team they were playing? Apex? Yeah, Apex forfeited game 1. So everyone in that game just got 15 points for round not played. Enigma Gaming won pretty easily round 2, and then they got the sweep. So yeah, I mean, lost a little bit of upside there because I played arguably, you can consider the top 3 guys there on the team. Again, Jaiwu was up there too, but really would have liked if they could have played that map 1 because they would have had most likely higher scores for each. And I just missed the cash line here in the tournament, so a little bit tilted there for sure because they only played 1 map. But yeah, all the guys were good, right? Lollipop 21K was 20 and 17. Speed 4K was 18 and 12. MDS was 18 and 12. They're all good, right? If you could have just had one more map there instead of just the 15 points for rounds not played, could have been a lot better day for me. So, yeah, I guess I'm guessing that's why Draftkings took the loot bet series off of this upcoming slate, because stuff like that can happen for lesser known teams. Forfeits like that not going to really happen for the main slate, for like a lot of those main teams, right? So a little bit unfortunate there if you went with Enigma stack like myself, but you got to figure out if they play that second map, probably would have had a really good day here. Nico, 81 fantasy points. I really liked his price. Zaiwu was going to be very chalky, but I ate the chalk there. Hunter, the G2 guys were a little bit disappointing. G2 is just, I think they choke more than any other team. They had that map too. I think they're up like 15-10, 15-11, choked, lost in overtime. They've done it so many times against good teams. It gets like 15 rounds and just can't close it out. Still, Hunter wasn't bad, right? 58 fantasy points for 7.4K. Pretty solid. But yeah, all in all, just missed the cash there again. Enigma Gaming not playing the first map did really hurt the upside here with this lineup. But that's really the look back there. So now let's take a look at some odds here. There's 3 games. We don't have odds out right now. I looked around on a couple sites for NIP Navi. Haven't seen it. My best guess is Navi are going to be favorites. I would say -175 would probably be a fair guess. But yeah, we don't have that out right now. We have Complexity and OG. Complexity are -165 favorites, and Furia and MIBR. Furia are -260 favorites, the biggest favorites of the day. So let's just jump into it. We'll start with the first game here, NIP and Navi. So let's start with the NIP side. They're going to be underdogs. They're going to be a lot lower owned on the slate. Anytime you have Simple on the slate, he just eats so much ownership up. And the popular build with Navi has been on the slate is just pair Electronic with Simple. I think that's going to be very popular again. So you're going to see most people go that route. And for that reason alone, you're just going to see these NIP guys go very low owned. Okay, Navi is just a team that I never really feel super confident. They can come out in 2-0 and dominate a team, but they can come out and get killed by a really bad team. We've seen both sides of that. So I never feel great, going like a full Navi stack. But yeah, on the NIP side, it's the top 2 guys once again for me with Nock and Plopsky. They've been in the best form recently. They have the best overall numbers. And when we have Twist and Rez priced about the same, I'm just going to give the edge to Nock and Plopsky. I think Plopsky would be my preferred play at 7.2K. He has the best overall numbers. He is, in my opinion, the most upside in this team. Nock also been in really good form as well at 7.4K. So if we take a look at HLTV.org and take a look at some of their numbers again. We have Plopsky sitting the last 3 months, 0.72 kills per round, 0.64 deaths per round. You have Knock at 0.73 and 0.63. So very similar. Again, those are my top 2 targets. I think they're going to be the most popular in NIP. But again, lower owned in the slate in general because we have Simple, because we have Electronic, who I think are going to eat up a lot of ownership. So if you wanted to get to differentiate yourself in tournaments and take a shot and maybe fade the Navi guys, right? You're going to have a huge edge if NIP can pull off like maybe 2-0, right? Yeah, you're going to have a huge edge over the field. But yeah, we have Rez and Twist are priced about the same, just not as good numbers, right? Rez 0.68, kills per round, 0.68 deaths per round. Twist at 0.63 and 0.62. Now, Twist has been pretty good at the op. He can make some good plays, but when they're priced about the same, right, I'm just going to give the edge to Knock and Plopsky. Now, sure, can you make an argument if you want to go the NIP side and maybe get a little bit different? Yeah, you can look at Twist or Rez as slightly contrarian plays. They're not out of play, for sure. But I just prefer Knock, Plopsky. Again, they're going to be the most popular plays here on the NIP side. Hampus, I think, is a viable punt if you think NIP win this one. I would say in 2-0 fashion, right? Other than that, it might be a little bit tricky for him to get you there. Now, he has had some okay games, right? He's not been terrible. He went 50-48 there against Vitality. Went 25-19 against Ents. 19-11 against Astralis. So yeah, I mean, obviously he has some not so good games in here, right? 50-56, that's not terrible. 50-66, not really great, but did have 27 assists. All in all, it's just a really cheap price point. So sure, I think if you're going the stars and scrubs approach and you need a last fill in, I think you could take a shot on Hampus. Obviously, again, you're not going to feel great about it, but he's a really cheap price point. Doesn't need a whole lot to get you there. And if NIP do sweep this one, then, again, you could see Hampus putting up 50, maybe even 60 on a good day. So, viable punt there, I think, if you think NIP win this one. Now let's talk about Navi. So, you're going to have some very, very popular plays tomorrow in Simple and Electronic. Simple at 10.2K now, I think is priced about right. We've seen slates where he's been in the low 9K range, even like mid 8K range. Didn't make sense. Now he's 10.2. Now he's priced about right. So, I still think he's going to be very, very popular, but maybe not as popular as some of those other slates where he's like 90% owned. I think he'll probably be somewhere between 70 to 80% would be my best guess. Yeah, again, he is arguably the best player right now in Counter-Strike. The last few games, though, I haven't been able to get him right. I played him against G2, went 45-47, faded him against Mad, went 61-23, and then I played him against FaZe. They got 2-0, and he went 38-30. So, seems like if I play him, you don't want to play him. If I fade him, you want to play him. Right now, I'm probably leaning towards playing him, to be honest. I think there is, enough value on the slate to get him in there. So, yeah, Simple, obviously, is a great play. Not a whole lot of bad things to say about him, besides just the price, right? 10.2K. Now I think he's priced about right. His numbers, 0.87 kills per round, 0.59 deaths per round. Just insane numbers. He has, when he's playing well, and if this game goes 3 maps, he really has the potential to get you 150 fancy points. He's that good of a player. Electronic, another player who's been in really good form, especially this last month. If you look at his stats the last 3 months, 0.73 kills per round, 0.65 deaths per round. Again, the last month, he's been really good. He's been right up there with Simple. So I like Electronic a lot. I probably prefer Electronic to Simple for the prices if you're just going to make me pick one. But again, the popular build tomorrow is just going to be those 2 guys. I think there are good plays. But I think there is a chance NIP could pull this one off because Navi is so up and down. I never really feel super confident about them. Now, with Boomage, Perfecto, and Flamey, those are basically stayaways to me unless you think Navi win this one 2-0 fashion. Because Simple Electronic really do carry this roster, which is good, right? We know where the production is coming from. It's those top 2 guys. So, I think, again, the only way you consider those bottom 3 guys is if you think Navi win 2-0 fashion. Other than that, it would probably be a stay away from me. Next, let's talk about OG and complexity. So this OG team is a team I feel like we haven't seen in a long time. Their last game on Draftkings, at least, was March 9th. So yeah, we haven't seen the OG team in a while on a Draftkings slate. But let's talk about players. I think there's really 2 guys that I'm interested in this team. It's going to be Mantu, who was sitting at 0.73 kills per round, 0.59 deaths per round, and Valde at 0.67 and 0.62. Now, those are the 2 most expensive players. You have Mantu, 8.2K, Valde at 7.2. The other players, I don't think I get to them. Just not overall great numbers. Alexa B, whatever his name is, 0.57 kills per round, 0.68 deaths per round. Or Alex, however you pronounce his name. Issa at 0.66 and 0.65. I actually think he is in play because he's the cheapest of the bunch at 5.4K. I don't think he should be the cheapest. So I guess he is a viable punt there. And then NBK is probably a stay away from me as well. Not great numbers, right? 0.66 and 0.71. It's really probably those top two guys there with Mantu and Valde, and then Issa at the bottom as a value punt. But I think my favorite play obviously would be Mantu at 8.2K. I think he's going to be lower owned because OG are underdogs, and this line right now is complexity minus 165. You just always see, the favorites are always higher owned on DraftKings, so they're just going to be lower owned. But I have interest in Mantu. He is the most upside in this team. Again, if I was going to pair him with someone, I think maybe it would be Issa, just because he's a really cheap play, and that's a nice little way to differentiate yourself on this slate. Now let's talk about complexity here. So we have Blame F is 9.4K. That seems definitely overpriced, but if you look at how he's been playing recently, I don't know if it's overpriced. Now, let's just take a look at the DraftKings, right? The last 4 games that we have on DraftKings. 45 and 19 against Mad Lions. 70 and 57 against Big. 71 and 44 against Gabbett Youngsters. And then 65 and 53 against Fnatic. Even before that, like 73 and 36, 50 and 41, 30 and 20. He has been on fire. And you can look at their 3 most recent games, too. Now, these weren't on DraftKings, but you can go back and look at these stats, see how he did. Let's take a look. Complexity got 0-2'd here against Force. How did Blame F do? 40 and 33. That's pretty good for getting 0-2'd, right? Everyone else way negative on his team. So, yeah, not a great stat line, but for getting 0-2, that's pretty good. Now let's take a look at this one, right? Let's see where Blame F is. 57 and 37. Really good. And then let's just look at against the game that's Hard Legion here, see how he did. 74 and 47, plus 27. So he has been really carrying this team. Again, he seems a little bit overpriced, but I don't know if he is for his recent play. I think Blame F is still a really good play here at 9.4K. He has been, again, he has just been playing out of his mind. Really, really good Counter-Strike. His stats for the last 3 months are 0.75 kills per round, 0.55 deaths per round. That's really, really good. And if you look at you can go to his stats and actually look at his last month. It's even better, right? Just because of his recent play. 1.28 rating 2.0, 0.77 kills per round, 0.53 deaths per round. So Blame F has been playing unbelievable. Again, I think people will avoid him because he seems a little bit overpriced, but his recent play, I don't know if he is. So I do really like Config still at that price, or Blame F, I should say, and I really like Config too. 7.4K, you're getting him at a 2K discount. I think he stands out as a really, really solid option here. He's going to be somewhat popular, but he also has pretty good numbers here. 0.78 kills per round, 0.67 deaths per round. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Obviously not as good numbers as Blame F, but you're getting him at a 2K discount. Complexity your favorite, so I think a somewhat popular build will be just pairing Blame F with Config. I think those are the 2 guys I have the most interest in. Let's talk about the other guys here on this roster. So Oboe at 7.2K, the youngster, he's been decent. He's been a little bit more up and down, but he's flashed some upside with the AWP, right? He had back-to-back 98 fantasy point games against Fnatic and Dignitas. He's been in decent form as well. Again, not as good numbers as those other 2 guys, but still okay. He's at 0.7 and 0.62. I think that looks pretty decent, right? So I have interest in Oboe as well at 7.2K. I think I slightly prefer Config to Oboe, but it is pretty close. And then Poison, I think Poison is in the range of like a Rez and a Twist, right? He's probably not the the ideal play, but he's going to be contrarian. He's going to be a lot lower owned compared to these other complexity guys. And if you want to get different, I can see going to Poison. He still has some decent numbers, right? 0.68 kills per round, 0.63 deaths per round. So yeah, I have some interest there as a contrarian play. Rush at 4.4 is basically a complete stay away from me unless you think Complexity just win this easily in 2-0 fashion. That's the only way I could see going to him there. I just think I prefer the other cheaper options, right? Like a guy like Hampus or maybe Issa and OG. So yeah, I'm not too excited there about Rush, even at that cheaper price point. So all in all, I'm good. It's going to be interesting to see what the ownership comes out to be on Blame F. I think it's going to be somewhat low owned because of that price, and just because of the other players in the slate, right? You're going to see very high ownership on Simple. I think you're going to see pretty high ownership on Electronic. Those are two pretty high price guys. You can't fit all these high price guys in your lineup, so you're going to have to leave some out. I think Blame F is a guy that maybe goes a little bit forgotten about, but for his recent play, I really like him, even at 9.4K. Lastly, let's talk about MIBR versus Furia. So we have Furia are minus 260 favorites. They're the biggest favorites of the day. Right now, I've talked about this for the last 3 or 4 videos. I think Furia are the best team in CSGO. I really do. I think those top 3 guys are just really, really good players in K, Serato, Yuri, and Henny. Now, this is another team that's going to be very popular because of the odds. Minus 260 favorites, right? And Furia have dominated the series against MIBR 12-3. Now, MIBR did win the most recent game, 16-13, but you got to favor Furia here. They've won the last 5 games against good competition here. Gen G, 100 Thieves, Liquid, MIBR, a little bit more up and down. Lost 0-2 to Cloud9. Had a couple ties in there, a couple wins as well. So yeah, let's first talk about the MIBR side. This is a team that's going to go very low just because of the odds. Now, sure, I think an upset is still possible here, right? Anything can happen. MIBR is a pretty good team. I think Furia is the best team right now. But this is just a side that's going to go very low owned. Fallen 8.6K is going to go super low owned for that price. He's probably going to be below 10%. But if MIBR can pull off this upset and you play Fallen, again, the field is going to be very heavy on Furia. And if MIBR pull off this upset and you have Fallen in your lineup, you have a huge edge to the field. So again, do you want to take that shot? Fallen at 8.6K, I think is still probably even a more contrarian option on his team itself. And I would probably rather get to Fur and KNGV. KNGV at 7K, Fur at 7.2K. So yeah, because if you look at their numbers the last few months, Fur has 0.74 kills per round, 0.67 deaths per round, KNGV 0.76 and 0.67, and then Fallen at 0.73 and 0.60. So Fallen maybe has that upside for a little bit more of those clutches, right? Those 1v2s, 1v3s, but for the price points, I think you got to prefer Fur and KNGV to Fallen. I think all 3 are in play. All 3 are going to be very contrarian plays. And if you want to get super different on the slate, maybe just go with the full MIBR stack, right? A 2 or 3 man stack. No one's going to have that. Taco at 5K is a stay away. TRK at 4.6, the new addition, has been a little bit up and down, but has had some decent games, right? I think he went, against EG, went 82 and 63. Went 2019 there against Furia, 44 and 46. Not terrible, right? He's had some down games here too, but for that price point, I could see taking a shot there again. He's going to be super low on because they're the biggest underdogs of the slate, but he doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you in. If this game is competitive or if MIBR win 2-0, that's where I could see TRK being viable. But lastly, let's talk about Furia. So this is, again, I think personally they're the best team right now in Counter-Strike. You got to like the prices here on these guys. They're going to be very popular, like the Navi guys. But K Serato 8.4, Henny 8K, Yuri 7.8K, all really stand out. I think this is definitely your cash game plays. Probably get 2 of those guys, maybe pair them with Simple or Electronic, right? That's probably going to be a very popular build to start a cash game lineup. But yeah, those top 3 guys, they have great numbers. Again, they've won the last 5 games. I personally think they're the best team in Counter-Strike. You have Yuri at 0.75 kills per round, 0.62 deaths per round. K Serato at 0.73 and 0.56, and Henny at 0.7 and 0.56. So all 3 pretty similar. Really, it's almost a coin flip with these guys. I know K Serato is the most expensive. I still think I would go him first, and then Henny and Yuri is almost a coin flip there. But really, again, you can make an argument for any of those 3 guys. I think all 3 are going to be pretty popular on the slate because they are the biggest favorites of the day. Now, Art at 6.6, just a contrarian play. He's priced too close to Yuri for me, where it doesn't really make sense unless you want to get, again, very contrarian. He is a player that actually is pretty aggressive. A lot of the time he is like initiating gunfights or pushing things, right? Pushing flanks. again, that's just a dart throw really for GPPs. Vinny at 5.6. I think you can make an argument there. Again, he doesn't have good numbers, but Fury are the biggest favorites of the day. I think he might garner a little bit of ownership just for that reason. And again, what you're hoping for there is the 2-0 sweep if you play a guy like Vinny. But that's really all you can really make an argument for with those. A lot of the cheap guys is you really just got to hope when you play them they get the 2-0 sweep. So let's talk about captains here, and let's just talk about cash games first. So cash games, I think it's pretty simple who you go with for who you consider in the cash game spot for captain. So I think it's those Navi guys, right? So Simple and Electronic, I think, are two guys you can definitely consider. I think, a guy like Config at that price point looks pretty decent. And then the Fury guys, right? So Caserado, Henny, Yuri. Well, that's probably where I'd look to if I was going cash games. Again, mainly probably the Fury guys and the Navi guys. One of those 5 for captain spot would probably be the way I would look to. Now, there are some stars in the slate for sure. Again, we have high price Simple, Blame F's up there, Fallen Caserado. So you could make an argument for GPPs to play someone really cheap in the captain spot, and just, again, what you're hoping for there is the 2-0. So maybe a guy like TRK, right? That's going to be a very, very low-owned play because they're the biggest dogs of the slate. Hampus, again, 4.8K. Doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you there. Those Navi guys, again, what you're hoping for there is the 2-0. Issa, I think that looks pretty decent, like at 5.4K for his numbers. You could make an argument there to throw him in the captain spot. Again, OG are going to be a lot lower owned on the slate than Complexity are. So let's just say, again, just for this, let's just say we throw Issa in the captain spot. 8.3K remaining. You can get, again, you can get Jam in Simple, Jam in Electronic, probably get 1 or 2 of these other top guys in there. So that's always a viable build. Again, that's more of a GPP build, though. A very contrarian build, but I think it's still in play here because we have a lot of those guys at the top. So just, again, if you plug one of those cheap guys in the captain spot, you can just jam in everyone else you want into your lineup. But for a cash game setting, I think you want to play one of those top guys, again, probably the Navi guys or the Fury guys. Now, again, for GPPs, what my build usually is I like playing a lot of the chalk. The chalk is chalk for a good reason most of the time. And then getting different in maybe 1 or 2 spots. So do I want to get different and maybe use a one-off NIP, right? So maybe I still go Navi, right? Maybe still play Electronic or Simple. Maybe just run a one-off with Plopsy or Knock, right? I think that's viable. Or go OG over Complexity, right? OG's is a team that's going to go a lot lower owned than Complexity, even though there's a decent chance they can still pull off the upset, right? Mantu, Issa look pretty decent for their prices. Or do you want to just go MIBR and, for KNGV look pretty decent if MIBR can pull off that win? I think those guys could definitely have a good day for their salaries. But I think that's going to do it for the video, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it. If you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Again, hitting the notification bell does really help me out to continue to grow this channel. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, a 5-star review would be really, really appreciated as I continue to grow that as well. For PGA, guys, I will have my video up probably tomorrow. I'm going to be working on my spreadsheet tonight. We have another Millionaire Maker coming up on Thursday, so excited for that. We also have Call of Duty coming up this weekend. Again, really excited for Call of Duty. I swept this weekend 3 for 3, made some good money, so excited to get some Call of Duty content out there for you guys as well. But thanks again for everyone to come and check the video. Really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys all in the next one.